What up? What up? Back at you real quick, little impromptu joint ski. You know what I'm saying? As I'm recording this right now, internet is down at my house. Well, in my area, 3 o'clock this morning. It's about 7:50 p.m. right now, Eastern time. At 3 a.m. This morning, my dog woke me up to take him out, as he always does every night, around like 3 a.m. He woke me up. He needed to use the bathroom. So, I take him out in the yard. And I noticed at that time, the internet was down. So I said, it's 3 in the morning. Whatever, everybody sleep, whatever. It'll be up in the morning. Get up in the morning, 7 a.m., still out. So I said, let me go on the website, see any updates, system updates, whatever. And they said, yo, don't expect your shit back up to 11 at night. So they wasn't lying, because here we are, 7:50, the shit's still out. So, I had a lot of running around to do today. I had to get a cut, you know what I mean? It's Christmas, you have to get your Christmas cut. Last minute, stores and shit, loud and shit, I'm downstairs. Where else I had to go? Yeah, stores, cut, and some grocery shopping, just different, So, get home, shit's still out. So I've been watching, I said, man, fuck it. I got, hooked the computer up to the TV. Put stuff my DVDs off the external, DVD players. So I was watching a DVD I bought in 2006. Now, that's 20 years ago, cause called Why We Bang. It was a gang documentary, John, about motherfuckers in Compton. So I just got done watching that and shit. It was like, damn, I bought this 20 years ago. I hadn't seen it so long, but I'm like, yo, put it in the John and find. I ain't got no internet. It is what it is, baby. Cooked on the grill, it's taco night, so my tacos and stuff on the grill for the fam. Took everything up, so my kids could eat, wife could eat and everything. I ain't eat yet, I'm always last to eat, man. I always wait. But yeah, so I did that, and then I jumped back in on the DVD, and it's like, man, shit is crazy. It's 20 years ago. And, brothers, man, I ain't from the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? But it intrigued me. It intrigued me back in the day when I was a young boy, like, why they be warring for colors and everything out there? Like, it's really like, like, they wear blue, they wear red, they from here, I used to study it. I got a lot of DVDs up on the shelf from back in that era with the gangbanging and stuff. Because I try to understand it, like, as a people. Like, why we kill each other, over this. And I got to tell you, man, looking at it, as somebody, 20 years later, you figure I was probably, do the math, I was probably like 23, 24 years old, when I bought that DVD. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward now, tack 20 years onto that, I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, like I'm seeing it a whole, I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. I'm not into the same things. I don't hang out in the same areas or around the same people, that I did when I was, 23 years old and I was running the street. And chasing after things and, getting into shit that, you ain't got no business. You know what I'm saying? So looking at it now, I'm like, damn, shit is a lost cause, man. But anyway, I figured, like I said, there's no internet, there's nothing going on. I figured I'd do a little impromptu video. Let's speak about the list, that came out today as far as NFL Pro Bowls. Pro Bowlers, man. They had to list all the teams, how many Pro Bowlers they had, and who made it, So let's dive into our team, the Eagles, man. And listen, and y'all know me, man. Like, for my little 2-3 people that watch me, y'all know. And I don't know why I threw these Colorado Bulldogs on, man. I ain't nothing wrong. Me, ain't nobody sock me in my face, and I'm trying, boy, it's expert level, So, anyway, I threw these on, whatever. But, me, man, I'm all, like I said, man, you want to ours. You wear that uniform, man, you want to ours, man. I ain't trying to down talk people, man. I'm trying to uplift them as long as they wear that green. But I was shocked, man, at some of these names, on that made the Pro Bowl from our team. We had 5 people, which is, on the more side, like, as you go down the list, I think the most any team had was 6. I don't think anybody had over 6 people make it. If somebody has 7, I don't think so. Maybe, but I think the most was 6. You had a couple teams that had 6. I don't think nobody has 7. So 6 and 5 are the two, like, You had some people that had none. You had some people that had one. Some people that had two. Some people that had three. Some had four. And then you had some with 5 and 6. But I think that was it. 6 was the highest on any one team. And our 5 was Zach Bond, I think deserved. The two corners, Quinyon Cooper, Jalen Carter, and Cam Jurgens. Now let's talk about it. I'm the biggest, I ain't gonna say the biggest, but one of my favorite players on this team and somebody who I've always supported. I wear his jersey out publicly a lot, and I took his back when the shit went down week 1. I wasn't trying to have nobody say negative shit around me about him. You know, I was at a family party and people wanted me to speak on it, and you know, it's almost like they was a little offended that I was taking his back the way I was, but about the spitting in week 1. But it is what it is. It's my guy. And then Jalen Carter. And I love Jalen Carter, man. I mean, like, again, one of my favorite Eagles of all time already, even though he's very short in his career. And the reason I say it is the reason why I rock with Jalen Carter and, you know, his legacy to me, even right now, even though this is only his 3rd year. You know, this is just, I remember it's only his 3rd year. But what's special to me about Jalen Carter, the reason why I'm such a fan, is I will never forget, you know, draft night, you know, the night we took him. You know what I'm saying? And him doing the interview and being in tears, you know, him being emotional because he's drafted high, you know, 1st round. And the interviewer asking him, like, what are the Eagles getting with you? Like, what are they getting with you? Let us know. And with tears in his eyes, he said, they're getting the best player in this draft. And I'm telling you right now, you know, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Now that resonated with me. It did. Because, one, you know, a couple reasons. One, I felt like there was no way in the world we should have been able to draft him. He simply should not have fell that far to us. You know. And you got to understand that another reason, it's just something about me, like as a person, when I see somebody being, you know, ganged up on and just by the masses and criticized in a certain way and portrayed in a certain way, all that, like, go down the list of people throughout history in sports, on my team, other team, whatever. Like, when I see people going through that, I tend to take the person's back. You know what I'm saying? And we all know Jalen Carter came in this league with a lot of controversy due to the accident that went down when he was at Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So with everybody, you know, shitting on him and saying this, saying that, there was a guy who's come on my page, man. Every time I would post something about the Eagles and I would give Jalen Carter some props, like, oh, he made a good tackle. You know, he had a sack, whatever. This guy, man, he would always comment on my shit, like, oh, I would never support that team drafting him, man. You know, the accident he did, the worst person in the world. I would never be a fan of that team. And it's like, I had to block the motherfucker off my page. It was like, bro, get the fuck out of here with that. Because I can't even, we're not going to start that debate about people personally, you know what I'm saying, that we will never know. You know what I mean? Like scumbags, Boy Scouts, stand-up people, all that play on our teams, we don't know. But if we're going to start separating it and say, I can't support a team that has this kind of guy on the team, there wouldn't be no fans of no teams in the NFL. I could tell you that 100%. I bet my life on that. There would be no fans of no teams then. Every team has assholes, criminals, murderers, rapists, just people, just disgusting human beings. Every football team, from the 53-man active down to the practice squad, has people on it that are not good people. And if you're going to sit here and say you can't support a team that employs somebody like that let somebody that play for their team, there would be no fans of no team. Not one team in the NFL would have a fan if that's how you're going to judge it. But I don't judge my team off of that, off person. I'm not going to know. Now, I might look at the story and say, man, I root for that guy, you know, because of what he's going through. Like when Michael Vick came to the Eagles, I rooted for him because I understand, you know, some people need a second chance. Some people are going to just condemn you, you know, after one, you know, whatever your crime was. After that one crime, people will say you're no good and never again, and we won't trust you ever again. I'm not one of those people. So when I see somebody getting a second chance, I want to encourage that person to do the right thing and support that person. So I was very supportive when the Eagles signed Michael Vick. Shit like that. Do I know Michael Vick personally? No. No. I don't know any of these people personally. I'm just telling you how I tend to do when I see how shit is going for somebody. You know, same with my quarterback. You seen what my quarterback been going through since college. All the adversity he got to face. Being benched. People tell me you're not good enough. You're not going to be this. You're not going to be that. That makes me gravitate towards the person more when they're on my team. Because I want to uplift them. You know what I'm saying? Like, enough people is down on you and shitting on you. And that's why I get offended when I see my own fan base doing it to our own people. I don't stand for that. Like, I don't, like, you really can't be a fan of this team and do that in good faith. You just can't. So, you know, that's how I was with that. Now back to the thing. I got sidetracked with the Pro Bowl list. And to say, I just said all that to let you know how much I love Jalen Carter. But if we talking D tackles on this team, Jordan Davis should have been in the Pro Bowl. Jordan Davis should have been in the Pro Bowl. Let's keep it a bean. Jordan Davis should have been in the Pro Bowl. I did not feel like Cam Jurgens was a Pro Bowler this year. I heard my wife up there scolding my daughter. I did something. I'm like, whoa. You know me, I'm the disciplinarian in this bitch. So when my wife get like that, it's like, whoa. I don't know what somebody said up there. But I wouldn't want to be that person. But anyway, I don't think Cam played at a Pro Bowl level this year. Love him to death. I feel like he's nursing injury all year. Him and Landon Dickerson. I feel like the whole line, except for Mailata and Steen. You know, I feel Lane nursed shit all year. Cam and Dickerson nursed shit all year. I feel like Mailata has been relatively healthy. Cooper DeJean. Again, man, love my guys. I wore my Cooper DeJean out in public proudly. I wore the DeJean jersey during the Super Bowl, you know, because it was his birthday. I figured when I was choosing out all my jerseys that I have, because I'm a collector, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wear the DeJean because it's his birthday, and I know something's gonna happen for him in this game on his birthday. In that Eagles rule, I just knew. So I said I'm gonna wear my Coop. So I fuck with Coop hard body. And my thing is, I don't know how they. Like, if you're a corner, right? Like, I don't know how the Pro Bowl does their selection, right? Because we all know Coop plays nickel. So when they vote Pro Bowl, I don't know if they take into account somebody plays nickel and somebody plays on the outside and this person plays. I don't know if they take all that in there. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to say. Now, if you're talking nickel corners, I'll take Coop. I'm going to take them all day over whoever the fuck y'all put out there. But if this Pro Bowl is supposed to be like the best of the best corners in the league and people that play on the outside, I'm just saying, like, it's no way he should be in there. But if that slot was slotted for a slot corner, then yeah, I would take him over. I'll take Cooper over any slot in this league. That's word to your mom. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take him over any slot in this league. So, you know, I thought that was, you know what I mean? But Quinyon and Bond, you know, there's no question in that. So we had what? Quinyon, Coop, Carter. Wait, Quinyon, Coop, Carter, Bond. Oh, and Cam. Yeah, I love my people, man. But it's like, Cam, like, bro, he was the Pro Bowler this year, man. I mean, the man nursed injury all year. He wasn't no Pro Bowl center this year. But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real. My people. But I'm down my people. I uplift them. I'm happy. You know, they made him. I'm just saying, I'm giving y'all my opinion, man, on the picks that they picked. Quinyon and Bond, you know, they can't question that. Especially Quinyon. Quinyon feel like is the best Eagle right now on the team. Seriously. I feel like Quinyon is the best Eagle on the team. So you know what I mean? So, but you know, we take it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I'm just giving y'all my honest opinion. Love these guys to death, man. I love my birds, man. And he haven't getting any recognition, any awards, man. I'm all for it. I'm just keeping it a bean. Like, I mean, Jordan Davis is having an amazing season at D tackle for us, man. Like, having an amazing season. Trimmed down his weight, just improved every year. I'm so happy that how we picked up his 5th year last year, so we get him again next year, bruh. I'm just saying, like, couldn't be more proud of him. He's another one that people shit on coming out. We ain't gonna say no names in the Philly media. Now he want to sing his praises, but I was on the John when he did the interview and he said, whatever the Eagles do, don't draft Jordan Davis out of Georgia. That's what he said. Whatever y'all do, don't take him out of Georgia. Now he on there, oh yeah, my man's playing. And I'm like, yo, it's amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't even let people get a chance. You know what I mean? So, just amazing. You know, it's amazing. Let the brother get a chance, but then now it's, now he sing his praises. So I felt like Jordan should have made it, you know. And I like what he said about it when they asked him about it. He's disappointed he didn't, but like you said, it's not thinking selfish. You know, I don't want to think selfish. Think about the team. How can I help the team? You know, if I concentrate on me, that's a selfish thing. So the boy is showing you mature all across the board. He been playing his ass off, man. Jordan is a great Eagle, man. He's a great Eagle. So, you know, as far as the other teams, man, you know, I see some names out there. You know, some teams that had nothing. I think the Cowboys might have 5, just like we did. I think Pickens made it. The boy Tyler, what's his name? Dak. Shit, I forget right now, but I think they had 5 as well. And I figured Pickens would ball out for them this year because it's a contract year. You know, he's trying to get his money. Now, they might franchise him, I don't know, but I figured George was going to ball out because he's a talent. He's just, you know, if you think AJ is a diva and a knucklehead, then you should get a look at my man. So who knows what they're going to do with that. You know, some people can't get out their own way. You feel me? We got the clear on there tonight, though, baby. Switch from the dark to the clear. Normally I'll be drinking the dark, but I said, you know, let me switch it up. You know what I'm saying? You know. So, who I seen on there? I mean, you know, I seen Washington. Only the punter made it. Damn. The punter, just the punter. Now, if only the punter makes it on your team, that had to be a bad season, bro. That had to be. If only the punter made it on your team, that's a bad season. And the only reason I be on y'all heels a little bit because I talk so much shit. And nobody couldn't tell y'all nothing. After y'all beat us the game when Jalen got knocked out. Look, let's take it back real quick. Jalen got knocked out early on. All the signs in that game, right? We go back to last year, regular season, second meeting. All the signs, because Jalen got knocked out in the second drive, right? So we're in the second drive of the game. It's already 7-0. Went down easy as pie on the first drive. All this going down easy as pie on the second drive. All the signs in that game was pointing to Washington getting their ass kicked, blowed the fuck out, right? Jalen gets knocked out on a dirty hit by Frankie Louvu. Because that's what he do. He's a dirty motherfucker. He try to say he not, but he is. Get knocked out on a dirty hit. And then the game turns into, you know, back and forth shit, turnovers, all kinds of shit going on. CJGJ gets ejected, and somebody punched him in his face, mind you, but he got the flag on him. But somebody punched him in his face. He gets ejected. And, of course, the drop by Smitty. So the 3 big bombs in that game was Jalen getting hurt on the second series when you could just look at that. Like, during that second series, it's like, oh, they about to get their ass kicked. Like, I'm talking varsity versus 8th grade. He get hurt, first big bomb. CJGJ get ejected, second bomb. Then at the end of the game, when they still could have won, Smitty drops a gift. So we had 3 big bombs, right? You couldn't tell Washington that. Them fans was barking, talk shit, hog spit. Didn't matter. None of the factual shit mattered. Like, them boys was, yo, I turned on my computer. I'm like, bruh, I couldn't believe how they was talking, these Commander fans. I'm like, I just couldn't believe it because I tried to talk, like I told y'all, I'm not a rah-rah fan, man. I'm not a rah-rah talk shit just to be talking it because you a fan of that team, I'm a fan of this team, so I'm going to talk shit, try to hate on your team. No, I'm not that kind of fan, bro. That's clown, cartoon shit that people do. I'm not one of them. So I'm sitting back looking at all this. I'm like, I talk real shit. Like, that's why it's Birds Raw and Uncut. Because that's all I know how to give it to you. So I'm like, they can't really be, I know they know what really went down in that game. Yo, they was, bruh, couldn't talk nothing to these people. No kind of logic, no kind of sense, no kind of facts, nothing, right? So I say, okay. It's documented. For my 2, 3, 4, 5 people that watch me, go on my library of videos, of all the videos I've done, and search the one, find the one where we lost to Washington in the second game. And y'all could tell me if I'm lying. In that video, when I get a recap of us losing to Washington, I put I don't know if it was Jesus, whatever religious person it was in the Bible, I put the candle up to the camera, all of that. I said, I'm praying we play the Commanders in the playoffs. If I'm lying, I'm cash app you $1,000. If that ain't on there, DM me, I will cash app you $1,000. Go to that video. I put the candles up, everything. I said, yo, I pray to God. Pray to God that we play them in the playoffs. I put candles on here. Religious candles. Because anybody could see they would have been blown out. Right? So what happens? I don't know if God said, you know what, young boy, I'm going to answer that prayer, that one. All right? They going to go up there. They going to be, golf going to turn this shit over 4 or 5 times. You going to get your wish. You going to get your prayers answered tonight. And next thing I know, they had to come to the link. Bro, I went into that game. I had company over here in the cave. It was not even a question, that game. A double nickel dropped across their motherfucking forehead. Most points scored in an NFC title game. Some shit ain't rocket science, man. Some shit you don't need to be a millionaire coach or coordinator or GM to understand certain things. Sometimes us fans, because we're out of it, right? We're not caught up in it. We're just out of it, right? We get a chance to sit back and look at it from a relaxed point of view. Anybody could see they could not fuck with us. They were going to get blown out anytime they seen us. Couldn't tell them that because they rah-rah fans. It's a fan of another team trying to tell you something factual. That's like your man's on ESPN, Nick Wright, who always, hating on the Birds, dick eating and all that. He said it, right? He said it the day when they did the show, the Monday, hold on, let me pull another shot. The Monday after the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, right? And he had to come into work, and they was clowning him all day on the show and everything. But remember, he said it. He was like, I ain't going to lie. A lot of fans, right, that made the trip to New Orleans for the Super Bowl, a lot of Eagles fans that was running into him on the street, whatever, he was out and about, he was running to a lot of Eagles fans. He said, I ain't going to lie. He said, a lot of Eagles fans, man, was seeing me, and they was telling me we was going to get blown out. That we was going to get blown out in the game. And I'm like, what? Like, we don't get blown out in games. Like all that. KC shit, all this and the third. He like, but you know what? They seen shit. And that's how I felt going into that game. Yeah, the Chiefs was 15-2, right? But if you watch their season last year, they didn't look good. Now I understand, man, like I said, I believe in the Parcells quotes. And my favorite Parcells quote, the great Bill Parcells, is, you are what your record says you are. I'm a believer in the Bill Parcells school of quotes. So don't get me wrong. They were 15-2. Can't take nothing from it. It's the NFL. And the only reason they lost seconds, they sat the starters in the last game. So really they lost one game last year. In the 2024 season, the Kansas City Chiefs only lost one game. That second loss was because they sat the starters. So I'm a believer in that, right? But looking at the Birds all season and looking at them all season, I scouted them all. I watched every Kansas City game last year just like I did the Eagles. I made it a point to. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sorry to tell you, it was like looking at my team and looking at them. It was like, this is like a varsity. That's like I'm telling you, I'm just saying. And that's why when they showed you the footage, remember, during Super Bowl week, when they let you in with the backdoor footage and all that, see what the team talk. And they showed the Eagles, the night before the Super Bowl, but they let the players talk, address the team, whoever want to talk. So, Jalen talked, Saquon talked, you know what I mean? And, I'll never forget when Saquon addressed the team, he had CJ GJ behind him, and he addressing the team, and he said, no matter how many times, man, I watch film, what they put on tape, we put on tape, he said it gets more and more obvious. He's like, this team can't fuck with us. I'll never forget CJ behind him going like that. When Saquon said, they can't fuck with us. And they put the camera on CJ, he was like, straight like that. They watching the same tape I am. Same breakdown I am. They was 15-2, but when you look at the Eagles and them, it was like, yeah, they 15-2, but let me educate y'all on some shit that's going to forever be swept under the rug, right? Let me bring y'all back. Let me educate y'all on some shit that's going to forever be swept under the rug. Once again, let me educate y'all, my fellow Birds fans. Anybody out there that's watching this is not a Bird fan, let me educate y'all on something that's going to forever be swept under the rug. This is going to forever be swept under the rug. So let me put it in your mind right now so that you can reference back and say, all right. Okay? So, this is what I want to tell y'all before they want to, because they're going to forget this, man. 2024, the Kansas City Chiefs was 15-2, right? Like I just said, and they really only lost one game because they sat the starters the final games they had nothing to play for. Okay, cool. The Eagles was 14-3, right? That was the respective records clashing. That's what they was in the regular season, what we was going to say. But here's what gets swept under the rug, though. And it's what they don't want y'all to know. It's going to forever be swept under the rug, right? But I'm going to put it back in y'all brains so that y'all can appreciate this shit. And this is why Saquon said what he said about the 2024 Eagles, about how he felt like they were one of the best teams ever. And people are like, nah, but here's the thing. And I know a lot of y'all don't know this, but one, because you probably... a lot of people not Eagle fans anyway, so they wasn't really like, rocking with it. It wasn't really in-depth like that. And if you were an Eagle fan, you didn't know this. It's because it's sometimes hard to keep track. But this is the thing about the 2024 Eagles and why people like Saquon Barkley would say, in their opinion, they're a top 5 team all time. This is why. This simple stat right here that I'm going to spit out for y'all. Let me get the mic right so that y'all can hear me. The 2024 Eagles never lost a game to nobody when all the starters played. Repeat it again. The 2024 Eagles you seen last year that won the Super Bowl, that went 14-3, they didn't lose a game when all the starters played. They lost to Atlanta, Tampa, and Washington. Those were their 3 losses last year. We just talked about the Washington game. Jalen gets hurt when the second series, CJ goes out. We already talked about that. But in the Tampa game, AJ, Devontae, Lane didn't play. In the Atlanta game, AJ didn't play. Devontae, I believe that might be the game he got hurt in. But anyway, we know AJ didn't play. So there go your 3 losses right there. In the games, in the other 16, 17, whatever games it was, that all the starters played, the 2024 Eagles didn't lose to anybody. Not one fucking team they played last year. From the regular season through the playoffs through the Super Bowl. If all the starters were in, they didn't lose to nobody. That's the shit Saquon is thinking about when he says, in his mind, this is the top 5 team all time. You see what I'm saying? See, a lot of people don't know that. They just see we was 14-3. But the truth of the matter is, when the starters played, they didn't lose a game. They didn't lose to nobody. That was the best Eagles team ever to take the field in the history of the Midnight and the Kelly Green. That was the best Eagles team ever. They did not lose a game when all of them played. Look it up. Once again, If I told a lie, give me your Cash App. I'll send you $1,000. Straight like that. So, we've been rocking. Shout out my man, Broads, Hunter Brody, doing the Jalen Appreciation Day today on WIP, which can be a toxic cesspool when it comes to the birds. They thrive on negativity, right? But Hunter is a guy out there trying to spread positivity, and he did a Jalen Hurts Appreciation Day on the radio today. So shout out to Hunter Broads, man. Seriously, shout out to the Broads, man. I've been told him send me his Cash App. I sent him some money. You know what I mean? He looking at me like, man, stop it. But I was dead real. Dead real. I'm a nigga that, you know what I mean? Niggas give Cash App. I send bread over there. That's real talk. That's word to your mom, my mom, and Jimmy Crack Corn. You know what I mean? Real shit. I just give real shit. It's all real shit on this page. Raw and uncut. Come on, man. So, you know, like I said, get on here impromptu with y'all, man. Fuck around a little bit, because my internet is out, man. You know, I'll cook the food. I'll be on, you know what I mean, watch DVDs and shit. I'm about to go in the yard with a cigar and shit. And just be thankful, man. You know, holiday season. This is one of my favorite times. Yeah, my favorite time is summer. I ain't gonna lie. Summertime my favorite, because I host a lot of parties and shit. You know, Aces motherfuckers get down. But it's my second favorite. You know, holiday season is cold and shit. Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know, like to see my kids' faces, man. You know what I'm saying? We got, tomorrow's the eve, then we got Christmas Day. Let's see my kids' faces, man. Christmas Day, man. Nothing like that, man. It's one of the best feelings in the world, man. Watching them rock out, man. Get some eggnog, get some alcoholic eggnog, you know what I mean? Put on the Christmas tunes and wake them up and say, yo, Santa came. Yo, Santa came, you know what I mean? Yo, check it out. And they be in there, boy, you know, all y'all that got kids, man, I know how, you know what I mean? They be in there like, oh, man, they be riding there. You sit back on the couch with your drink, you know, and you watch them, you know what I mean, get out. You know what I mean? That's ain't nothing better than that, man. You know what I mean? Nothing better than that, man. So, I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to get at y'all real quick, man. Once again, you know, we can check out the games on Christmas, but I know Netflix is salty because them games is ass cheeks now. They don't mean nothing. So I get at y'all. Hopefully, I know Sirianni's the big said the starter's gonna play, though. We ain't really moving nowhere. We're gonna be the three seed, but we gonna go at these boys. We'll see. I'm gonna get at y'all. You know, probably after that. Once again, I want y'all to have a good Christmas, man. Good holiday. Stay safe, man. Enjoy y'all families and stuff. All right. Go Birds. Peace.